Okay, we have a piece of white folded paperish material that's shaped of a rectangle and it's glued on 3 sides. And it has a piece of paper inside of it that looks like a ticker from the stock market back in the day. And it says on it, why do speakers need subwoofers but headphones don't? Well, I think a lot of headphones could use a subwoofer.
Could use,
Especially some of the higher end ones that we're familiar with. Not familiar with, sorry, that some people are familiar with.
That's right.
Yeah. You need a bone, what do you call those? Bone phones or something. They used to have this
Bone
thing
phones?
you put around your neck.
Oh, yeah.
And it vibrated your chest and stuff. It was for augmenting a headphones.
Yeah, I got one of those, you like put a sucker in it too.
A sucker?
Oh, yeah. It's like,
Yeah, they had radios in
called?
them and a sucker.
Yeah.
So when you're like, you could hear it in your head when you're like,
Lolly
your son.
Tunes or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
went through your teeth.
How old were you when this happened?
6.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember
8.
this.
So this is like, this was a while ago.
Really? So you put this thing in your mouth and it vibrated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds annoying.
They don't make them anymore, as far as I know.
Yeah, probably illegal.
Probably kids broke their teeth chewing it.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. But yeah.
Anyways.
Subwoofers and speakers?
Speakers happen to be quite a bit different than headphones. Because the challenge with speakers is the manufacturer, when they make the speakers, they sell it to you and they don't know what room it's going in.
Yes.
And that's a really big impact.
And with bass,
really
rooms
big.
matter.
Size,
time.
volume.
Right.
Volume.
The placement of the speakers in the room, the size and shape of the room, what the room is made out of, the floor, the walls, the ceiling, all makes a big
The
impact.
bass modes that are in the room that
Yeah.
actually accentuate or drop the bass out depending on your listening position.
Right.
So yeah, rooms are a real problem.
And this is major stuff, not like the difference from a headphone amplifier to a different headphone amplifier. This is like, wow.
Yeah.
Big
Well,
difference.
In a headphone, the ear pad's the room.
That's right.
So it's rather small, especially if you like talk about even IEMs.
Well, yeah.
The room is your ear canal.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take a lot of acoustic pressure to fill that room or to produce.
And
low
it's very
frequencies.
controlled.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You know,
Well,
so it's
yeah, per
designed.
person.
It's designed in that room,
Yeah.
AKA.
Well, you design the whole room
Yeah.
when you design the headphone.
Right.
You design everything, right?
Technically, everyone's got a different ear canal shape.
Well, yeah.
but I think the room is similar.
And placement, stuff
the
like that.
space
but
is fairly similar.
You get similar
When it
performance
comes to bass,
from
yeah.
person to person, whereas in
more
a
of a-
room, speakers are totally different. Even if you change the placement of the room, like if you just have a speaker in the middle of a room and you walk around the room, and if it's playing bass or something, especially at lower frequencies, a test tone, if you walk around the room, you'll hear some regions where the bass is way louder, 10, 20, 30 dB hotter than others, like huge differences. You could have areas where there's no apparent bass and areas where it's really loud in a room.
Yeah, like a couple feet away.
Yeah, it could be a huge difference
That's
depending on
at
the
the low
room, the speaker
frequencies.
design, the placement.
Well, yeah. I mean, because it's not only the room; it's where you are in that room.
Right.
So it's a.
And you
makes a
don't
big
get it
difference.
anywhere near that extent with headphones.
Well, not to mention speakers in a room. Speakers aren't really. I mean, you need a pretty big. You need to move
Yeah.
a lot of air.
Yeah.
So you need a big woofer. And usually at the higher end of things, size comes at a premium. More woofers, bigger woofers, more money.
Sure.
So a lot of times you'll see people use bookshelves, which is
Yeah.
usually you can get a really good high-end bookshelf for a way less than a full-size floor standard. Same company, same kind of sonic quality in the mids and highs, and then augment it with a decent subwoofer and really have full range, probably more so than even if you bought the biggest speaker. They
Could.
you know?
Yeah.
Depending on what sub you use.
I mean, most subs will go below 20. Most speakers won't.
Yeah. No.
So it kind of makes sense.
I think there's a few factors here, though, because not only do you have the massive discrepancy in acoustic energy required to actually make bass in a room, you actually need power, like real power, not a little driver. You need something that is either a large driver or a small driver that moves an awful lot, or a bunch of small drivers, or something in that regard if you want to actually make low frequencies, if you want to have good low frequency extension with a speaker. And with a headphone, you have much better coupling to your ear. So
Yeah,
it's a very different
For
thing.
bass with your ear, you just need to pressurize the eardrum.
Right.
So yeah,
Instead of the
basically,
room.
as long as you create a seal, you don't require a ton of power to
Right.
do so. Yeah,
So
you're not-
comparatively, it's a lot
it's
easier.
a tiny room.
Yeah.
A
Once
lot
again,
easier to make bass with a headphone.
Yeah.
You have nearly direct coupling, much closer
You don't
to
need as
direct
much
coupling.
power to convert to acoustic pressure.
Right. It's a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
And you have control and understanding of the environment that the driver is in because you make it, right? With the headphone, you make the ear pads the rest of the headphone.
Sure.
So you only have no control over the user, their ear shape and the fit and their ear
Hair,
canal and stuff
maybe.
like that. Hair, yeah, sure. But that is, for the most part, is not so significant. It's not going to be the difference between these have no bass to a ton of bass. Whereas in a room, you could have huge differences. You might need 500 watts in some room in subwoofer to actually have decent bass. In other rooms, like if you're in a concert hall, tens of thousands of watts.
Yeah.
1.21 gigawatt.
1.21 gigawatts.
And there's plenty of people that get away with, in certain rooms, you could get away with 20, 30, 40, 50 watts. It depends on what you listen to.
Remember Marty?
Depends on the room.
With the
Speaker
guitar.
design.
We don't know how
It's
much
like
amp was in
it's
that.
a bunch,
It
yeah.
had a lot of
They're all
knobs,
pegged.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. Yeah, that probably takes a lot of power.
Now that's a subwoofer. Oh, that looked like a paper cone. I
Yeah.
don't think that'd be. I
It
understand
was
why
made
it
for
blew out.
guitar, so yeah.
Yeah. But if it was that big, actually, you wouldn't need a lot of excursion. To
No.
produce bass in the room, which was,
You still
it
need
was
power, though.
5
You
foot
always need
diameter.
power.
Yeah.
Not really as much as people perceive. You don't need 10,000 watts, but
Yeah. Hundreds.
compared to a headphone, you need a boatload of power.
Well, then again, our 1266 is kind of like that.
Yeah,
too.
well, what are you going to do?
But that's because we're not really coupling it. We're not sealing it. We're saying you don't need
yeah,
to do
it's
that.
a
so
bit of a different animal.
you need to throw a little more power at it to create. But it's the same kind of concept as as the space gets larger, so does the need for more power to create bass within that space.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
It's kind of
Yeah.
the same concept.
So if you break the seal on the headphone,
Like if you ever take anything outdoors, like a pair of speakers, usually
Right.
they don't do shit for bass.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
You need like, oh my God, you need
And
like
unlimited
a
power.
stack of subwoofers outdoors.
yeah, you take like a Bluetooth speaker, you
no
put it in a
room.
small room,
Yeah.
and
No
it plays
room to
pretty
contain
good.
the bass.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
put it out,
Yeah.
whatever, at
Yeah.
a park or something
Sounds
like
like a
that,
toy.
Yeah.
and you can barely hear the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You need power and size outdoors.
Right.
So
takes a lot.
it's obvious
outdoors.
that as the space grows, so does the need to create bass, so does the need for the,
Sure.
the amount of acoustic pressure and the size of the woofer. So I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell for that.
Pretty
one.
much.
Well,
yeah,
I
it's
guess
just
there's one
cost,
more thing.
complexity,
Yeah.
the uncertainty.
Technically, you could use a subwoofer with your headphones.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, that's another option.
Did you try that? You just got one a few weeks ago, right?
Yes, I have not tried it. No,
Oh.
no.
Yeah, I do
Because
that.
I moved my source, and so it's.
Hell, I
not-
just leave the speakers and the sub running, and throw the headphones on.
Well,
And then what happens is you're playing the same tune, obviously,
yeah.
on it. I never tried it with different tracks.
well, yeah.
Or out of phase, but you throw the headphones on, and you have the speakers and the subs playing, and once you throw the headphones on near your ears, it pretty much blanks out the speakers. You can kind of
Yeah.
open back so you can kind of hear it, but it depends on how loud the volume is on the
Well,
system.
yeah.
But the subs still vibrate. You still feel that going.
Right,
You know, so yeah, it's kind of cool. So if you can do that, if you have a system, try it. Try it one day. Try running your main channel, your main 2-channel system with headphones.
Well, or just the sub.
Or just a sub. Yeah, if you could turn. Yeah, if
Yeah,
you have
just-
the way to
just
turn
turn
the
them
main
off,
amps
yeah.
off. Yeah,
Right.
just run subs.
Yeah. Then it's a real speaker presentation. You're actually feeling it.
I've even gone further than that. You decouple the headphone even more, and you get more of the speaker sound.
Ah.
And somewhere between lies this amazing sense of space. It's just crazy because you've got the intimacy of the vocals here, and yet the speakers are throwing space out, and the subs are doing bass, and maybe one day we'll make a headphone where you can like vary that. Yeah, actually, we already did.
You already
the
did, yeah,
1266.
that's
You
it.
want
You're-
space, just
you're
toe-
using it,
Toe
yeah.
them back.
Yeah.
Open up the front and let the speaker sound come. That's what you could do. Yeah.
Okay.
Wild, ain't it?
Well, I think we covered that topic pretty well. If you like this video and videos like it, consider subscribing to the channel. Leave a comment. We read them all, and if you have any suggestions, and maybe we'll use it for a future video. So, thanks.
Thank you for watching.